Good morning, children. Welcome back to my class. I hope you all are doing good. Today we are going to learn unit number 4, poem Crying. Every human being have different experiences with emotions. The emotions might be feelings happy, sad, angry, fear, etc. As kids, you also might be coping up and having different emotions. When you feel happy or sad or pleased, maybe afraid also. Here, in this poem, we see a child who is crying till his pillow gets wet. Let us read the poem and find out what he does after that. Come, let's recite the poem. The poem name is Crying. Crying only a little bit is no use. You must cry until your pillow is soaked. Then you can jump in the shower and splash, splash, splash. Then you can throw open your window and ha ha ha. And if people say, hey, what's going on up there? Ha ha, sing back. Happiness was hiding in the last year. I wept it, ha ha ha. The poem is composed by Galway Kinnell. Before giving explanation about this poem, let's see about the poet. Children, look at the image. He is the poet Galway Kinnell. He was born on 1st February 1927 in Providence, Rhode Island. His occupation was poet. He is an American poet. His poems were St. Francis and the Soul, and the second one is After Making Love Wear Footsteps. Now, let me give the explanation about the poem. Children, in the first stanza, the poet is saying about crying only a little bit is no use. The poet says crying little bit is no use. You must cry until your pillow is soaked. Soaked means to absorb. You have to cry till the pillow gets soaked. After crying, then you can jump in the shower and splash, splash, splash. What we have to do, you have to take a bath. What we have to do, we have to take a bath after crying. Then the splash, splash, splash. The ear splash means the sound of the water. Now let's see the next stanza. Then you can open your window. After crying, we have to take a bath. After bathing, we have to open the window and say ah ha ha ha. Ah ha ha means we have to show our happiness through the window. And if people say, hey, what's going on up there? If any people has what's going up there, we have to say ha ha ha, like singing. We have to show our joy in the way of saying ah ha ha. And happiness was hiding in the last tear. I wept it and saying, ah ha ha. Here the poet is saying, the crying has got its own healing effect when we feel sad or depressed or feel like crying. We should cry it out completely. When we want to cry, we should cry it out completely so that we can leave the sadness and move on with a life and be happy. We can leave the sadness and move on with a life and be happy. Now, let me explain the new words. New words soaked. Soaked means completely wet. Shower. Bath in which water is sprayed from above. Wept. Shed tears or cried. Okay, children, now let me explain the worksheet. The first question, according to the poet, should you cry a little or should you cry a lot? See, this is according to the poet. You have to answer according to the poet only. So the second question is, what can you do after crying a lot? After crying a lot, what you will do? That here also this you have to write according to the poem only. The third one is, you have to read the statement carefully and say whether the statement is true or false. Okay. Once you finish the homework, send it to the WhatsApp group, Grade 5 English Naps group, between 6 to 8 in the evening. Bye children. Take care. Let's meet in the next session.